Action. Okay, now we're recording. Let's begin. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Sure.
Mine's gonna be really quick. Haven't really been doing a lot, but still continuing working on our React Native feed. One of the things we've been doing is native modules to extend functionality to like bridge and use some of our feed utils that we had for the old feed, sort like Facebook login, Twitter login, as well as sending out a tweet and commenting on the Facebook, etc. One of the things I needed to do, we have private npm packages now, and in order for CI to retrieve them, you need a npm token set up, and for that we need a .npmrc file in our SAP Android. So I recently made a PR that checks if you have any Applicaster packages as one of your npm dependencies, and it adds this file. So then in CI, it should be able to handle it correctly, as long as the project in Circle CI has the token set up as an environment variable. But yeah, I should have that merged sometime today, and that's it.
All right. Thanks. Who's next?
I can go next if you guys want. For me, it's pretty short as well. Yeah, this week I've been concentrating a lot on the family development for Family 3. And I know Merav is doing some work for the horizontal list, which it will be a totally new component in UI Builder. So I'm actually testing that one as well, together with a few other changes that I need to do for the family. And so hopefully it should be ready soon. And under a few issues, also some undocumented things like the tab bar that I could not find any documentation how to set it up with the CMS with the connected screens, but Gil helped me with that, and so I managed to finally do it. And quick question, do you guys know any way where I could create a component from UI Builder which doesn't click anything, like when you click on it doesn't do anything? Is that even possible?
You need to set, right now you can set in the CMS UI tag with unclickable or something. Like it's fun.
Okay.
On a component or on a cell?
On a cell.
Yeah, you need to set a UI tag with unclickable, something like that. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, unclick. I will search for it in the code, and I will send you the code.
Okay, cool. Then I will solve something for sure.
But if you want it to on a component, if you have a component of one cell, this can be done using the metadata. There's also a flag there to set.
Okay, so yeah, anyway, Tarek, if you can send me both, because the thing is, it will be done through the CMS, so it will be one component with one single cell. So
okay, so it's okay. I will send you I will PM you with both options. Okay.
Okay, cool. So, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, and that's for me. So yeah.
Okay, cool. I have a general question. There are two performance topics that have now been raised. They are in some sort of concern. One is a bigger concern, and the other one is a minor concern, but still I would like to mention them both. First is the loading time, the uploading time, the amount of time it takes for the app to actually load. And I know that GalCI is now looking at it, and there has been some work that has been done, I think in the Zap team, but I'm not sure. Is Gil here?
I know about iOS.
Is Gil here? No. Okay. So I'll take it probably with him. I'm talking about the amount of time it takes the app to load, all the sequence of requests that is being done, and
the app or page?
First the app, like, oh, the first page of the app. So yeah,
okay,
that
so it's a single page.
Yeah.
Page.
Yeah. Not the uploading time, meaning
Yeah.
the application loader. I think it's a specific page, how much time it takes it to load. Okay, that's one topic. And the other one is the size of the APK, which I also don't know if anybody has done any work around this issue. But our APK averages at around 50 megs, I think. And
I actually I actually did a small investigation around the size of our APK, and what I could see, like in some of the apps that I've seen, the vast majority of the size, it was due to the intro video. Like it consumed like 40% of the size of the APK was done to that.
The intro
because of the intro.
The splash assets.
Yeah, the splash asset that you show in the intro. So actually, I tried to convert it to a WebM, I think it's called, the protocol, something, and it was reduced like 8 times the size. And I think Android should support it, but I did never manage to test it. So
it's WebP. It's WebP, and yeah, it is. If this is what you mean by WebP, it is like an Android. It's a Google codec, so it is supported by Android.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a matter of checking out. And I saw the video, it reduced the size by 8 times or something like that. So it was like 40 megabytes or like 30 megabytes.
You can check the tool called the APK Analyzer from the Android Studio. It's some sort of a new tool which like gives us a very good like deep look into our APK. How like what is our APK includes, from assets to libraries to everything. It's called APK Analyzer.
Yeah, it's also a good talk in the recent Google I/O about it, how to analyze the APK size using this tool and what measures can be taken to reduce the size. Just as a food for thought, this is something that for specific regions has a lot of meaning. So I know that in Latin America there are some cases where it was a concern. Discuss it with their PMs, and also in our region, in the African region, this is something that they also take a lot of attention to. Just saying that this is another something that might need to be tackled soon. Obviously, the loading time issue of the pages and the app, and what I mentioned before, is more important.
Yeah, but another issue we are facing as an Israeli team is also regarding performance. It's the scrolling. If you check with Elad Karit, if he's here, is having issues like with the loading. It's like the recycling of the list of the component, which is very slow and hot. So the scrolling, when you scroll up and down it's like laggy. So it's also a performance issue that he is checking. What?
Yeah, the app has horizontal lists as part of the layout, and they don't recycle when you scroll. So create a new recycler, a new horizontal list component whenever the page is scrolling.
Yeah, so the composite, I think, needs to have like a lot of work in order for it like to scroll smoothly. So
I think Gil was doing. I know Gil had in his backlog to actually work on that for some time. So,
yeah, as Ron said, I think they are like intending to rewrite it from scratch. So yeah.
Yeah, I did a small fix there, a small change that the recycling, if it's a list component, like in you have like a list per se inside the composite. I did a change that the way we were recycling things before, they were in like extremely complicated way, and then it actually caused many issues with image loadings and things like that. So the issue was that for be able to recycle 2 rows for different content. So when you alternate rows with different content each of the rows, then you had to recreate each of the rows all the time. So in the case, I don't know that your app, Tarek, but I tried it with like homogeneous code, like, homogeneous content. So say like all of them are, let's say movies, So, and if everything are movies, then the scrolling it was as a normal recycler. The problem was when you had like movie, TV show, movie, TV show, movie, TV show, movie, TV show, then you have to recreate, when you scroll every time the cell. So I don't know if that's the issue or not. So
I think the issue that Tarek is talking about is actually not being able to recycle the component even if it repeats itself the entire list. Yeah. it's a problem.
Okay.
Exactly the component itself, but yeah, that can also be a problem.
Then I don't know.
Okay. So I just thought mentioning them. I know one of them at least works. The other one should be at some point, maybe in our team.
So yeah, guys, regarding the size, yeah. So look at the video, the intro video, and the assets. It was the vast majority. So I actually look at it if we were including the massive amounts of Java code or things like that, and it was neglected compared to those. It's like 50, 60, or even more percent of it was regarding to those things. So,
okay.
And the video especially was the biggest by far. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, interesting. I'll take a look. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, who goes next?
I
can go next.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go.
No, just to
so,
for the local in Israel area, there is a DroidCon.
DroidCon Tel Aviv conference, yeah, 28th of December.
woo-hoo. Yes.
Yeah.
So if
early bird ticket.
Are we all invited?
Yeah, not relevant for everybody. I talked to Liat about it today. And yeah, check together.
And another topic that probably Tarek will talk about, to discuss a little bit about the default Archicad player. Because we have a lot of problem there. Like each one wants to add a different feature.
Each customer?
Each customer, and we are using now. Tarek, what player are we using in the inline? GMT or?
For now, we are we have only one, the default player wrapper, which at the end we are using what's called the GMF player, which is a Google's player that can support like playing Google Ads. Okay, so this was added half a year ago by Pablo. They added also Hani. She's here. She showed me the pull request for that player. Like they added 188 files at once in one pull request. They added the player, and for now we are using that player. I think it's like a lot of work needs to be done there, like player-wise, because we are facing a lot of also issues and also problems like when we need to customize and add the stuff. It's really complex. The code is not, I don't know, it's not easy to work with. Let's say it like that.
Are you using the default?
No, all of our apps have custom.
So for now, what we need, for example, we need to do for Reshet is support a new ad provider, not just Google, which is Artimedia. So we are also. I'm still in the research phase of the task, but we are checking all the possibilities. What should we do? Should we rewrite it? Should we use Exo player? Should we use the same player but extend it? So we have many options, and yeah, it's a very big task.
It's all to create a plugin for the advertise only, like to use the default player to play the video, and to use like we use the IMA. I don't know if we are using it now. And just go to the advertise and go back to the video, the default video.
Yes.
Or to use completely their video, like we're using with the GMF.
Their player.
Yeah.
But how, if you're gonna implement a new player, it's gonna be only for the inline player or also for the full screen player? And if so, it's gonna be like, we're going to handle with the same issues that we handle with now.
I think it's an issue we have now. I think there shouldn't be a difference between inline or full screen, because what changes is just the surface we play on, but the player itself, the logic should be the same for both.
I agree.
This is one problem that we have now. We have two logics for two players, but they should be like one player.
Mm-hmm.
And just the surface, one is full screen, one is like a ratio of 16:9, for example. I don't know. So Yeah, but I can't like really elaborate much more because I'm still, I just got the task. I'm just like researching the the stuff, but I will update maybe next talk on what can be done, what should be done, and maybe get also feedback from you guys.
But I also think these are two separate issues. One is how to handle advertising that is not what we use as standard with IMA, or making advertising pluggable.
Yes.
To some extent.
Yeah.
The other is what player to use.
No, but for example, the player can play the video and the advertise in one player.
But you need to provide a stream and an ad. How do you provide them both?
I don't know.
What is the API of the player? The fact that it needs to load the stream from somewhere. The stream and the advertising.
Yeah, correct, of course. So, like at the end, we need to load this stream, but okay, should we like go to another player, play the ad, and then go back, or should we like interrupt the stream, play another stream, and go back to like we have many options, but still, just researching this, so yeah.
This is what
this is.
Karate also work on the
Exoplayer. The Exoplayer was a long time ago, but
now,
it never.
Yeah, it's never because there is always changes in the player, so we always got stuck.
Yeah, he also was surprised when he saw the the GMF player that we added, because he said, "Okay, I have my Exoplayer ready, so why did we do that?" So yeah. A lot of work needs to be done in the player. This is one thing. Also, like for now, I'm working on the React native player plugin, which for now we do not support. Like we do support playing multiple instances, but if we in one like multiple inline instances, but if we like play one instance and go to play the another one, the first one does not stop, and so I'm also adding the logic for the stop, play, pause for all the inline player instances in the player view manager in React Native plugin. So yeah, this is what I'm doing.
All right. Aran, do you want to go next? I think Alex just wrote that he has to leave soon, so maybe you should guys go next.
Yeah, that would be nice, guys. Yeah, I have a few minutes before my appointment. Sorry for the horrible scheduling again. I'm working with Anna and Javier on implementing the new family parser. We're doing some progress finally. Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, the internet is horrible as well. It's not really much to show yet, but I don't know if you've talked about it last presentation. Did you, Anna?
Yeah, so from the things which we can show is that we are actually we are able to validate the XML which we are creating, and we are able to suggest the component which we are putting. So it's a pretty good progress for now. And Alex, I believe you will be working on parsing all that XML to the proper objects. So yeah, there's a lot of good concept in here. I'm happy this week we are probably will be able to push forward, because me and Javier and Alex will have more time to work on that, because all other tasks which we're doing up to now are not so time consuming at the moment. So yeah, I'm really excited that we are going to push forward the things now, and that we are actually moving forward. Yeah, so all good, I think.
Yeah, indeed, good stuff.
So thanks, Anna, for putting on my behalf, and I have to run now, guys. I apologize for that.
It's all good. Okay.
Yeah, I might finish my things. So from other things which I was working on, I've implemented the React Native cell, and that's it.
And how is that coming along?
It's going really good. Yeah, it's showing that content which is from remote bundles. So the only thing which I've left to finish that is a create the component on Zap. I mean plugin on Zap and load it from Zap, and then just create the pull request for that. So it's going pretty well, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick question, Anna. Maybe you guys know, what is the use case for using React Native inside a component? Or you that I see you there run as well. So
yeah, there's a use case for this practical project. We will be showing the sports standings, which is like results of the matches, and this is the use case. We don't have any support of any cells which we can use at the moment, so we decide.
Okay. Good. Who wants to go next? Pablo, we have a special guest here today. Pablo replacing Atanas.
Yes, but I'm just listening. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. Atanas's wife is just giving birth. She already gave birth, maybe this morning or yesterday. So it'll be out for a few days. Hani, anything on your side?
Yeah, well, this. No, actually not much. Doing like any new plugin, SSO plugin for one of our clients. Actually, we're still thinking about the flow, since it's gonna be through URL scheme, and basically when when we open the app through the URL scheme, we get JWT, and then we do of our client, and then we'll need to do the login to Applicator server, and after that to use the URL scheme for all our functionality, which means it's gonna be either to present layout or play VOD or play something else, and so the issue is how to use the URL scheme twice, one for the login and the other one for the regular use of URL scheme. Well, I made a mess. So
no, just a small because I think people didn't really understand.
Yeah, sorry.
The meaning is to log in one app and to create a URL scheme with the token after login to our app.
Oh, it's a login app? There is
kind of, yeah. Like it's a different app that you're...
And then launching a URL scheme?
Yeah, with the token.
So we already have it.
What do you have?
We had it in Hot. They had their own app. Then we sent to Hot.
No.
Please log in.
You start with different app. You start Hot something.
Yeah.
You logged in there, and then you open our app from there. It's not going through the storefront, let's say.
So why do we need JWT?
Because after that, when you will open a specific video, you will have the token to send to the server. Understand?
Yeah, but I wonder why not login plugin?
You don't
Yeah,
want
so if you use with login plugin, after we logged in, we need to use it as a URL scheme plug. Like if we use the URL scheme to log in through a plugin, after we logged in, we need to like open the app, open a specific layout, or to do something that we wanted to do with the URL scheme. Well, I don't know how to explain it, but we can do it in two different ways. First of all, we can use the plugin, the plugin scheme. It's called a plugin scheme policy or something like that. And then to handle the URL scheme, and add a lot of parameters to know how to open the app again. I mean, okay, so the flow need to be when I get through the URL scheme a token, I need to log into Applicaster server. After I get the Applicaster JWT and saved it, I need to open the app. So this is the issue. How can I handle the URL scheme twice? One for the plugin with the login and one for the regular way that we use URL scheme. We support URL scheme.
Without understanding the problem deeply, it sounds to me like you should look for another solution that is not related to URL scheme. It sounds to me that whatever you do with two different URL scheme will be a hack. So if I would get this task, I would think about a better way to implement this. Sounds to me a bit.
Yeah, I have a question. There is the accounts manager? No, accounts manager.
Android?
Yeah.
Provider, authentication provider.
No, there is accounts manager native on Android,
yeah,
which stores information about login. So why not? This app will store a new account there. It can be shared between two apps, no?
Of course, that's what.
And then just open a regular URL scheme, and then our app will be opened, and the login plugin will know that it is logged in because it has the account in the account manager. You don't need anything in the scheme. You just need to open the app regularly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that could be a solution.
The question, what will iOS do? But
yeah, I know.
They have something similar on iOS?
They have accounts manager on iOS?
Accounts manager.
Yeah, probably share. Share data.
Pablo and Atanas
they have the keychain thing that is shared data.
Pablo,
yeah, Pablo is here. He can testify.
Pablo, did you do it for Quizy?
Yes, the keychain sharing. But I mean, you can share whatever you want through the keychain.
And you are using it for login?
Yes, we are using it for login.
And for Android, what do you do?
Account manager?
Yeah. Okay. So
yes, account manager.
In the login plugin, check the account manager to see if it's like silent login.
So, Hani, it sounds like you can take it offline with Pablo and Atanas because they did it for both platforms already.
Okay, will do.
No, but she needs to understand.
Yeah, but we need to make sure the solution is good for her as well. That's the idea.
Yeah.
At least we have.
And
yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's me.
All right. I'll come in again just for a second, Ran. I asked a question earlier, but I don't think you were here. I asked about efforts of reducing the loading time of either the app or pages within the app. Is it something that is on the table at the moment?
It's on the table always, but there's nothing specific that we are doing on the Android side. We are currently working on it on the iOS side, and first thing that we will do is before we do this optimization, we will work on the optimization of the composite, refactoring this, and then we will move to the rest of the optimizations.
Okay. Because I know that Garcia also started talking about loading times and what is causing slow loading of.
Yeah, but before you take action, we need to profile what are the problems, because it's not necessarily HTTP requests. I don't know. Depends. Could be, could be not.
Okay.
So for sure we can optimize the network request. This I promise. But it's not necessarily the first thing that I would do in order to improve the upload.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Go next. Two things. First, the environment variable in the build Gradle for the Maven credentials were a pain in the ass because on the terminal it saves it, but on the Android Studio it doesn't. And then by playing with it, I found out that if you open the terminal inside the Android Studio and you run the export commands, so it saves it for Android Studio.
Yeah.
Not for the current session, for at least for me, it saved it for all the sessions. So
you're talking about the credentials for Maven.
Yeah, because
in SAP Android, look at the wiki. I put documentation how to actually achieve that as well. So using Mac.
So in case any of you are still replacing them in the top Gradle all the time manually, so you can do it one time and that's it. This is one. I don't know, maybe some of you already know, obviously.
Yeah.
Another thing, Bianca on our team, the project manager, if someone doesn't know her, she reported a weird issue on one of our apps that the ellipse size characters, the 3 dots, when the text is too long, they are not appearing. Now, I don't know if it happens on all apps, but I'm still investigating it, and it's very weird. I mean,
how many lines do you have there?
More than one, but since specific OS version, they changed it, the total also multi-line text to have this text. But even if I make it one line, it still doesn't show it. And I played with it.
I've seen this in the Televisa app, and like it doesn't show. I don't know. And I was trying to investigate for a while. I tried a whole bunch of things, setting up the high, setting a specific, and I could not manage to do it. So I was even reading about it, and at the end, I assisted.
So I did the same. I was playing with it a lot, and I have no idea why it happens. I just wondering if any of you was experiencing this. No ellipse size, no cropping for text.
No, it doesn't show at all. I have no idea why either. So I had the exact same issue, and I could not find a solution. And I spent a few hours, and I could not solve it.
So if any of you is a special information and would like to share, it would be appreciated. If not, I will keep investigating.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this has anything to do with the problem, but when I was fixing an issue we had on Android TV for the marquee where the text actually, when it's too long, it scrolls. The fix there, everything was fine, but we were using a deprecated value in the XML. I think it's like single line or I don't know.
It doesn't use
one of those things.
It's using a number of lines 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. It doesn't use the single line. Single line is deprecated, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I tried it that as well, and it didn't work. So
it didn't work.
No.
It's a mystery. Anyway, so I guess I will keep investigating.
Yeah, Ruben will update what the solution is by next week. That's what he's saying.
If there is.
It's going to spend 1 week solving that.
Theoretically, we are doing everything correctly. I have no idea why it happens. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I remember having this issue in the past. I just don't remember how I fixed it. Like for another app a few years ago, I remember to have similar issue. I don't remember how the hell I fixed it. But I've seen this issue before, but I don't know. I could not fix it this time.
Cool.
All right.
Pocketon.
Did we cover everybody?
I think so.
I have nothing, anything to add?
יש משהו מעניין לקריטי?
No, Kariti was dealing with the Exoplayer mainly. That's what I heard from him today.
Providing a small ability in the urban airship to connect it to Google Analytics. The analytics from urban airship will automatically go to Google Analytics. So you will have another line in the plugin configuration with the Google Analytics ID. And if it will be there, so it will connect.
It will set the same ID in Urban Airship?
Yeah. Set the same ID of the Google Analytics in the Urban Airship.
Yeah. Same Google Analytics account ID.
Yeah.
Not anything with the client ID, right?
What's the name of it? UID or something?
Yeah. I think it's the account ID.
Yeah.
Setting the user ID twice can cause separate sessions.
Duplicates.
Yeah, duplicates in reports. This is something that you don't want to mess with. But okay. Cool.
Yeah, before I forget, I actually raised an issue on GitHub that I put those issues there so I don't forget about lint. I remember that somehow, I don't know why, we are actually filtering lint errors. So not even warnings, but actually errors, which actually could cause issues in runtime. And I have no idea why. Maybe any of you guys know it. And this was one of the issues that you remember, like, I think I talked to you, Ruben, about it, like the issue with the plugin, that there was conflicts on two plugins with Firebase. And or anyway, if I don't talk to you, I talk to someone about it. So there is an issue where there is conflict with two different plugins of Firebase, and so it actually give you an error saying, look, you have to only choose a single version because they're not compatible between each other. And actually, when you actually build it, actually builds successfully, and I don't know why. So even though it was an error, not a warning. So any of you, and I've seen this on like layouts in the SDK level or the generic app, which are actually wrong, and lint actually gives us an error, but actually still compiles the app. So, and if anyone would actually use them in production, like in the app, it would actually crash on runtime.
I think there was no really good reason why it was done. Probably some laziness or tight schedule. We have lint errors, which are fine, but you can filter them. So basically, we can filter only specific ones and leave the critical ones to be warned errors. So
you're saying that there are errors that are harmless?
Yeah, there are warnings that are harmless, but lint have good filtering, if I remember correctly. So you can filter by a type of warning or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I think the warnings should be fine because usually we have a million lint errors, warnings, but actually errors should be actually fixed. And there were like 7 or 8 of them. It was not so many. And I managed to reproduce it locally, and I actually had a list of the issues that are there. Like,
okay. Okay, maybe.
Guys, I got a never-ending story question. When do we upgrade to Gradle 3?
When?
You need to do that for Christmas.
I want to start using Java 8, guys. Come on.
How are we going to start using Kotlin?
I saw we added the Kotlin support in a pull request. Does that indicate something?
Yeah, I added Kotlin support, and I'm already using it for my native module. So now anybody could just start using Kotlin, from now on.
Why?
Why not? I don't know.
Swift,
I don't think you should have a reason for this.
It's like a Swift when you cut half of the length of the expressions. It's completely unreadable. But
no, I don't want to work backwards. I do not want to be in a place where we're afraid to use this. So I don't know. There's plenty of advantages. Maybe we could have a further discussion about it later. But you know, I think plenty of people are moving in that direction, and there's enough signs in our industry in Android, enough signs that, you know, this is going to be the future, and I don't see why we should be lagging behind.
I agree. No, I'm kidding, yeah. But it looks, I was looking today on ProSieben's code, actually, and they're writing in, apparently they're writing in Kotlin for a long time. And it's wow. For me, and I'm good at Swift, and it's very similar. But when I read this code, it's very hard to understand what it does, even when I know Swift. So yeah, it's a lot to get used to it.
But it's a matter of practice. Once you will start writing, you will understand, like any language.
Yeah.
Can we actually do a thing? Can we actually agree upon a code style so we can all use the same code style, and we can add check styles as well for that? Because it's really annoying, because, you know, we have our code that is so, you know, diverse in terms of styling everywhere. So it's super hard, because I know sometimes format things, and then in the PRs they show formatted changes, and it's pretty annoying to work with like having two totally different, you know, code stylings on the, you know, not even the namings, but just the spacing and the, you know, the styling and everything, how we organize the code itself.
Yeah, I think for Kotlin, it would be a good candidate.
A what?
For code written in Kotlin, it would be a good candidate to decide a code styling, because there's not too much code already.
Let me find it, but I think there's like an official working Kotlin style guide that the guys that make Kotlin have released. Let me find it. I'll post it in the Android channel.
Yeah, I was more referring, so like the code style project that I created, a plugin that you add to a plugin noise that you added to your Android Studio, and then you automatically format the code. So like,
we can use the default formatting for Android Studio. It looks good, and I think we can also have a custom one, but we can use default ones. It's much better than what we have now. Like.
Yeah, it's a matter at least to decide one and to pick one. So and then actually just small check style to be able to make sure one is using that.
We need to do that. Correct. I agree.
So so yeah, again, I posted a long time ago the project with the code styling that we could actually, you know, if decide to use a code style, put it in the project, and then, you know, anyone can actually start using it in their Android Studio. So if it's the default one, then we have the, you know, the default. If it's not the default, then we can use that custom one. So, but at least, and then also we add check styles to be able to make sure that the code, you know, actually gets formatted correctly before pushing it, or, you know, so we can have a standard way to read code. So
I think we need to have a person in charge. So basically, like someone who's in charge of code styling, creating the document, and things like that. Like someone who's in charge of upgrading to Gradle. I believe we need to nominate like someone, because in other case
it's in the Zap team domain.
Okay.
So it's under our domain, Gil in that case, and Alex. And the code styling, Javier, I told you that I generally agree with it, but I prefer that you will talk with them as well and take a decision. Like, I don't mind. I'm really pro code styling. You can see all the projects that I'm working on. They're super strict. So you can ask Javier as well. So you're more than welcome to push for it, but I don't want to take decision for them. So just talk to them and apply it, and that's it. And then there will be like 2 weeks of crying around the world. But after that,
okay,
people will align.
And then everyone else, like, you know, you have to live with the consequences.
No, one thing that I would say, one comment regarding code styling, don't leave anything in warning. Whatever you don't agree for should be an error, and all the rest should be ignored. There is no reason to have warning, because they are automatically ignored by most of the people. Code style, if you want to apply code style, it should be an error that would fail the build. Fail the build if you want to enforce it.
Yeah, there is check style. So I will take a look there. Now, when I finish my family development, so I can get that with the LATAM. And
be in sync with Gil and Alex, and just apply it.
Okay, cool.
And again, I'm saying these things you need to cut at the moment, because otherwise it never happens, because it's complicated. But the only thing we need to make sure, like I told you back then, is that it doesn't take the history, because otherwise we will never finish. It should only apply for new files, or whenever someone is opening a file, but not crashing the build for the entire.
No, the thing is that, I mean, a code style on Android Studio, that type of code style, it will never crash because it never changes anything, just this how it looks like, nothing else. So it should never done. And you could actually apply it to the entire project in a single commit. So all our code base in like commit for like one for the SDK, one for the generic, could be homogeneous in just 2 commits. So, and then from then we can, you know,
if you want to trust it without taking a look, which for me, it's a bit problematic.
No, I've done it already many times. So,
what happens to the Git like history that when you show who made this code, who wrote this code?
No, it's problematic. It's exactly something that I don't want to do. This is exactly what I'm saying. I don't want to do 2 commits and apply it. Every time that the person is opening a file, I'm fine that the first person will do all the indentation and all these things. And then from that moment ahead, we will do that. I don't want to do a recommit. You will lose history. It's problematic.
But I think a good idea to move from now on, especially if we're going to do Kotlin or anything new, then because, I don't know how we're going to get around the whole history issue if we command Option L.
Even though I have to say on another comment that soon probably there is a chance that we will delete the history because we were trying to move the Android generic app into Zap Android to have one repo. So maybe this is the moment that anyway we lose the history to do that. But again, I don't know. Maybe Gil decided to do, he's not here, his brother has a wedding, but it's good to ask him what he's planning, because I don't know, maybe he's planning to keep it as a sub-module, I don't know. But in general,
about it. So, there's a few options, and that's one of the options to like completely remove the sub-module of the generic app and put it into the Zap Android. And there's a few other options, so we were considering the different impact for,
The other option is if you are doing the 2 commits, all the bugs will be assigned to you from that moment ahead. Because you will be the owner. So that's fine also with me.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you. I need to run.
Run.
All right, I think we're done. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys.